Gonna be early pick here for Huanfeng. Looked pretty solid the first time around, but you got still a lot left open. The Orianna has been contested back and forth as well. JackeyLove just kind of stopped playing the Senna that he had played so much of throughout Worlds. It was Karsa's most played, 5 Graves games coming into the series. Said, nah, we're finally back onto it now. This one finally comes through. But JackeyLove's most played was also Senna. That one has been left on the table a lot as well.
Yeah, and ASS was talking a lot about the Jhin priority before last game, which then kind of dropped off, and they've got the option here to pick it up for JackeyLove. But the Leona, Ezreal, has been such a great combination with the offensive capabilities. And Huanfeng and SwordArt played it so aggressively, going for these kills, earning flash cooldowns by themselves, earning kills for themselves in the bottom side of the map. It really did just determine a completely different story for Suning.
I want to see if they get more of a dive comp together, what's going to come through. You can't really pick a top laner and contest it with bans. They're going to go for Akali as the answer. Exciting stuff coming through here. Angel picked it up for Worlds, had not played it in the LPL in the summer split. And actually Top Esports says, you know what, screw it. Take your top lane counter pick. We're grabbing Ornn right now. We are team fighting you, and we will ban away the counters to Ornn.
Yeah, Ornn shows up as we were kind of expecting here, but not in the way that we thought it was going to. It's actually 369 and TES, that blind pick for the top side. They've got both their solo laners locked in so early here. Yep. And banning out Gangplank also kind of does protect the Jhin, as we were talking about the Jhin before, because when Jhin ults and opens up, and then it's a very easy target for Gangplank, that could be another one of the things they may be trying to protect here, trying to get more safety for the bottom side of the map, put more into JackeyLove, because he definitely has been a super strong Jhin, and they started out the series that way.
Still interesting that Top Esports actually blinded both solo lanes in this game. Orianna got answered by Akali. Yes, they of course threw in 2 bans to cover Ornn. That helps of course quite a bit, but it means their last 2 picks are going to be answering bot lane, which of course is also being answered by bans, by the way, right? Ezreal, Leona are blinded. They're throwing in the Senna ban. They're going to throw in a bit more on top of that one, and then we'll see if this 2-on-2 is going to look good enough for TES, because they said, okay, we're going to make you play against Ornn for the first time all Worlds.
All right, so there it is. So is it going to be the misfortune then on the side of JackeyLove? He's really being kind of pinched here on the AD carry role.
I'm going to blindly say Ashe Lulu as a 2-on-2 that TES started playing at Worlds. The Lulu was a new pickup for Yuyanjia at Worlds. He plays it exclusively alongside Ashe, and it lets JackeyLove be a late-game carry that cannot be attacked.
And it would go really nicely with their 5-on-5 setup that they have right now. You have Orianna, Ornn scaling for those team fights later with Graves, Ashe, and if you supplement that with Lulu for it, that is a tremendous 5-on-5 setup. Meanwhile, Suning's showing the Akali early. They do have the Assassin locked in. They're going to have to play a much more spread-out style, looking for those kills. They lock in the Jacks here once again for Bin into the Ornn tank on the top side.
Now, Whimsy is very good against Akali, and it's very good against Jax, but you can't polymorph both of them. So one of them, if they are both fed, one of them is still going to kill the back line. And it's not going to be Lulu. It's going to be Tahm Kench instead as safety for whoever that assassin is jumping on. And it should make it pretty easy to save someone against Leona, but there is still a lot diving in. Jarvan over the top as well. It is still a very heavy dive comp for Suning, and there's only a little bit of peel on the Top Esports side.
Yeah, I mean, but that little bit of peel is so important. The Des touched on it at the beginning of the day, how TES have really prioritized counter-engage in a lot of their situations. So picking up that Tahm Kench to add that bit of disengage from a Leona that will collapse on you. Plus, you do have, especially once Tahm Kench gets to level 11 and you get the rank 2 in the ultimate and you get that extra range with it, it does give you some sort of means for traversing the map and trying to deal with some of the split style game that you're going to face when you're facing a team that's running an Akali Jax as their double solo lanes.
All right, final thoughts out of the coaches. Do or die for Top Esports. A week ago, they gave us the first ever reverse sweep at Worlds. It's not quite so dire. They managed to win game 2, but they've still got to win back-to-back games to stay alive at Worlds.
Deep breath here, Phreak.
Yeah.
Just best of ones you have to visualize from this point on for Top Esports, one game at a time. They are the LPL champions. They want to be the world champions, and a lot is riding on their shoulders.
Meanwhile, Suning knows they're about to have the eyes of a nation on them. They took down JD Gaming, and they got two chances now. They got two chances to knock down Top Esports and be the last LPL representative left. And it'll be on Suning then to be the team to have the LPL three-peat, to continue the LPL era. Otherwise, it's Damwon taking the trophy, and we are back to the Korean teams on top. We'll see if it can happen here. Top Esports, can they win 2 straight, or does Suning close it out in Game 4 or Game 5? The Ornn comes through. They put a lot of faith on JackeyLove to be a big carry. On the Ashe, Tahm Kench going to keep the backline safe. A lot of assassination potential through. Bin, he is a carry top laner. He gets counter pick against the Ornn, grabs the Jax, has a Jarvan to maybe upset that matchup even further. And we are onto the Rift.
Now, remember last game when they picked the Jax? It is such a fortuitous start for Bin because of the early attempted gank by Karsa and the jungle invade follow-up by SofM, setting them up for that dive, all these early kills, the early money, the wave control set up to be able to bounce back that minion wave, all really set up Jax to become the monster that he was. This time around, you can't be expecting that same repeat of the start. But for Suning, they've got their eyes on the prize. And if you are the team from the LPL, you take out the #1 and #2 seeds, there is so much riding on your shoulders. With great power comes great responsibility, and they will have to deliver. Ward sweep does come through. They take out the early vision, and they're actually pulling with the Leona Ezreal lane. A lot of times with the Ezreal, they opt not to pull so that you can actually get to the minion wave so you don't get pushed in early on.
Yep, not going to be the case this time around, though. They will happily go to lane late. Meanwhile, Karsa solos his red buff, takes the chickens pretty well as well. Always important to try to fight that from long range. You can apply red buff to multiple different units there as you fight that Raptor camp. Top laners back and forth. Quick bonk gets grasped. And level 2 first will come to Bin, and that will be something to play around. I think there's a very easy interaction for the Jax Counter-Strike. When 369 casts Bellows Breath, you wait till it's done, you start Counter-Strike, and you will dodge every possible attempt to break the brittle. And then once it's done, out you go.
Plus, a little known thing for the Bellows Breath, it actually only applies brittle on the end of the poof when he spits out the last little bit. So champions that have mobility, like Jax, you can actually dodge out as long as, even if you get hit with the beginning of the Bellows Breath, if you dodge the last bit, you don't get the brittle
already on the bot lane. They have found the best target. They have found Tahm Kench. Yuyanjia is going to be hit here. He does not have much more to do. He's going to burn the flash. They find the knockup, though, on a JackeyLove, and they're chasing for both. They're going to get the kill. Ashe is gone. First blood in, but there's a regank. How's the reengage going to look? TP's coming in, but a little bit late in this side. They find the near site. They find a slow. They find the chance of a kill on SofM. It's going to be Karsa trying his damnedest. Can he get the attacks? It's getting blocked by Huanfeng. Finally a kill, but they will trade him back. It's a 2-for-1 so far, and they want more. Send him back home. 3-1. Yuyanjia is gone.
Well, looks like another fortuitous start, Phreak, as this is a 1,000 gold lead for Suning. 3.5 minutes into the game. Bottom lane gank from SofM on the Jarvan. What a clear from him. Gets in there, is able to force out the flash from Yuyanjia, make sure that he's far away from JackeyLove, and JackeyLove didn't flash the EQ from Jarvan here, so SofM just changes targets. He goes right on JackeyLove, no flash from him, and uses the heal. Once that hits, SwordArt follows up, stunned up, and he is dead. Now they've got a numbers advantage if they decide to match your teleports, and this is gonna mean, again, so much for the game plan. Huanfeng there tries to flash in front of Karsa.
So much time.
He's trying to block the auto attacks from Graves because he can't get behind him. But what it really means is the ramifications for the bottom lane. Once again, the Ezreal Leona lane gets to play so aggressively here. Summoner spells were burned. Yes, JackeyLove saved his flash. He went down. but it's the 2 kills to the Ezreal for your super early tier, so he's going to be stacking up very quickly.
Interesting to see Huanfeng actually go for the more scaling option, because if I'm JackeyLove here, I'm like, okay, we are not just going to get run
Your
over
eyes
in
go
bot lane.
big, you look for kills, more damage.
Well, I mean, ultimately, yeah. I mean, Pickaxe lets you really play aggressively and put TES down. And if you think that, hey, this lane is going to stop being volatile, look, we got our lead, let's just stack tier and get an early Muramana, that's fine, but you have kind of squandered the gold lead by not letting you win the 2-on-2 any harder.
Well, he's got a double buff for himself, too. So
that'll help for a bit.
That's definitely going to give power for the meantime. It also means, since so many cooldowns were used on the bottom side of the map, that Bin gets left alone in that top side matchup with the Ornn. Gets a consistently threatened 369, and since he uses teleport early, he trades aggressively, trying to force out the same from 369.
Yeah, you want to try to get him to burn that as close as possible, get his health and mana back up. Wouldn't be much of a fight down here. Of course, level 9 on both. Temporary health and mana lead for 369. And he's got, yeah, and you can see, right, hops away from what would be the last part of the W, walks away. I believe he got grasp off just in time, but either way, doesn't mean too much. 6 CS lead. Karsa recalling near the lane if there is any kind of a gank. And constantly Bin jumps away to not be hit with the brittle.
All right, now with this Jarvan, again, you're looking to make plays off of other crowd control that you have set up in your lanes, but you can also turn your eyes towards an Akali once Akali's level 6, because Knight's Flash was used already, long cooldown still left on it, and if you get level 6 kill for Akali, for Angel, it actually can snowball incredibly quickly for the side lanes as well, because then Angel gets to threaten for those roams, for those ganks. He would probably want to go purchase first. He still has not gone to get his first purchase back yet, but that can definitely be another point of pressure. So SofM has a lot of options open to him. Meanwhile, Karsa, true to the whole series, still eyes on objectives.
And Infernal Drake is the easiest Drake to solo. It has pretty mediocre single target damage output. It's not terribly tanky, so Karsa has no problems doing this on Graves. Of course, he did get 1 kill, so that's double longsword plus red smite in pretty early on. Even has some clutch honey fruit to be essentially full health and mana for the next part of this one. So the game state is a 500 gold lead versus a Drake lead, and that's not too bad. Huanfeng burns his teleport now to get back into lane. This time does have the pickaxe, and now he can start playing for the lane. So it's time for JackeyLove's first recall. Doesn't get spotted. We'll see if it's... Okay, it is going to be towards the Blade of the Ruin King version of the build. Now, there's not a lot of health stackers on this team. Generally speaking, you know, you're not hitting that heavy of a front line, but it is 4x melee. You're going to get a lot of value out of Ruin King Hurricane.
All right, he goes for the invade here and has the deep ward to do the confidence with. So with a pushing Akali mid lane here, not too scared of a possibility. Support roam's coming out pretty quickly though. And honestly, I don't think there should be an overload on the invade. He does know that the smite was used. SofM has smite, but can't see.
Phase rush, decent damage, ward control, back and forth. I like that. That's really smart. Chomp it, throw it out of range. No chance for SofM to smite. Kills the control afterwards. Pretty well done.
Yeah, quite nicely there. The support roam pays off, Phreak.
Yeah, it does.
He got up to the top side. Red secured. SofM will be pretty happy to take the Scuttle Crab, though, on his way out. And this does mean you will have 2v1 on the bottom side. JackeyLove's got double summoners, though, on the Ashe and level 6. And you can see the positioning on the mini-map. He's playing really safely back there.
So Angel is going to fight over this wave a little bit as Knight pushes it down. Farm pretty close between these two players. Ultimately, wouldn't be a CS difference to write home about. Plus or minus 1 if Angel gets the entire wave. Bot shoved in. JackeyLove himself actually has more farm, and that's with him dying, right? At level 2 and then not having the TP to rejoin the lane. So the bot lane is being well played here on the TES side. They brought this game reasonably well back. Still feels a bit Suning favored and still want to see what their Jacks can do, but now it's time for the top Herald to be attacked. That's actually Angel dodging every little piece of damage from Knight, but it's not going to mean much.
Yeah, and especially with Orianna on full mana items right now, they do not have a lot of power there. So even with the ward, you see Yuyanjia just walk straight through mid, right back to bottom. They're like, yep, you know we're giving this up. We're giving this up. Everybody is in accordance because SwordArt and Huanfeng had just also gotten back off of their reset.
You saw them trying to maybe bait a small engage at a Leona. Yuyanjia just stayed in the fog of war, said if you EQ in, I will eat afterwards, then we can re-engage with their summoners down, or at least your cooldown's gone. Didn't mean anything though. Bot lane still about to lose his first turret, or a turret plate, I should say. Karsa sticking around bot side, hits a Scry's Bloom to see if there's any wards around or if Jarvan was nearby. He wasn't. Now he is. Ultimately, it's going to be not too much pressure just yet from bottom side. They have to hand over blue first. Make sure it's not stolen by the red buff. That's just fine. But now here's the Herald Summon in mid. And it's going to be just 2 quick plates. Angel could choose to share. Is he going to walk closer or not? He's kind of on the edge of plate range. There he goes.
Yeah, he's got it for sure.
Gets 160.
And honestly, yeah, trying to fund the Gunblade.
Ooh, they find the stun. They find a lot of damage. Good luck with this one. Huanfeng burns the flash into as well, and Karsa's here. Flashes in for the slow. They need the rest of the damage. The Q is going to land. Shutdown comes through, and SwordArt, the only one left alive, but they can go for the dive. They know they have Devour. They can keep him safe. No problem at all. Spits him right back in. The flash out of SwordArt. Oh, it's back for distance. Karsa can't get it, though.
Yep, not quite there with the distance. You like the going for the play, though.
Uh-oh.
On the top side, the reverse will occur.
Can 369 live here? Does not have his ult anymore. SofM is here. Bin is here. They find the knockup. They might find the stun. But here comes the TP out of Night, and there's just no dive to be had. I think even without TP, they couldn't have done it. 369 is too tanky.
That's looking pretty risky there. I think they're kind of happy to get out that cooldown and back away from it. Does allow Angel on that Akali to push mid, too, after sharing some of the money with that Rift Trail. Is going to be funding his Gunblade very quickly.
Look at the scoreboard. TES have tied the game back up off of a catastrophic early game that went 3 kills to 1, and like bot lane was sacked. They've caught up.
Again, as they showed in the previous game, they will not give up in these games no matter how bad it goes early on. JackeyLove in the brush, able to get the start on the Ezreal, and then flashes forward to finish this kill. And allow Karsa to rack in some of the money. So extra funds will go into the graves here. And be able to have a bigger presence around this Jarvan. This is going to be a completely offensive look here for Karsa. We'll see what area he can actually make his play off of. Ashe arrow right back up for JackeyLove.
Easy wave clear. Nice Blade of the Rune King completion already there. That's going to be nice, but Manamune Sheen is not far off in terms of power, so still a pretty close 2-on-2. Always optimizing around, maximizing ward gold. Yuyanjia always lets the AD carry get the last hit. Usually saves the control wards there as well. It might mean Karsa can rejoin that bottom lane. 2-kill Graves, his most played of Worlds, and so far a great start. SwordArt roaming towards mid, goes through his own vision, but I believe spotted walking past the Drake. So they should know that he's walking towards mid. You can see Knight hugging the top side of the lane, and they don't know when SwordArt might recall, so he's continuing to play safe. Angel cannot force this aggression. Doesn't have the Cutlass done for the on-demand slow, so easy wave clear and Knight can walk away. And he can shoot the wall to Shep.
Dragon going to be started right back up for TES, though, and it's going to be completed recall for SofM. That means they will be able to start stacking them.
Unless you get a miracle steal. I mean, SwordArt could ult. You know, there's always a chance. Now they know they see him on the ward as... Okay, easy smite. And I like the timing, though. If there's ever an early smite, you got the steal. And I think that's actually the best timing, because none of your spells do more than smite. So hope he screws up. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, if you're going for those ones early on, the damage of your ability is not really comparing to that of the true damage from Smite. Later on, you can get to different scenarios when you have AP mid laners getting tremendous amounts of burst, but Ezreal also not a really big cost to throwing that out early on.
TES right now get the raw stats dragons, though, right? Mountain and Infernal, they're just, you know, raw attack damage and ability power, armor, magic resist. It's going to help a lot considering the fact that, I mean, they're actually on kind of a stat stacking champions in general. So tend to like this quite a bit. You still got a very, very tight gold game, but I take the Dragons more potential. Now Knight going to get found out. Can he get there in time? He's trying, and he chomps him, but there's still going to be too much damage. Stopwatch buys another couple of seconds, but how do you live? How could you possibly? Burns the flash, shock if not in time. SwordArt, though, will drop, and Yuyanjia finds himself the kill. What is up with Halo Blade supports?
They're able to buy enough time with the Devour, with the Stopwatch to get a counter kill for themselves. And as you're going over the Dragon setup here from TES, remember that TES are the ones with the 5-on-5 champions, with the setup here for fighting those later Dragon fights. It's Suning that are looking for the split plays. Suning with the Akali and Jack side lanes.
I think I figured it out, Kobe. Why SofM keeps doing G2 Flare. He's representing his group. It's like, this is for G2, all right? They fell too early at the World Championship. This is for you.
All right, well, X-Flash into ultimate, into the knockup. Yuyanjia flashes forward for the Devour, gets him into tower range for a Stopwatch, and You can tell from the minimap, you know, nobody else was coming at this moment, but they buy enough time just themselves to get a counter kill. And it is only money, you know, into Tahm Kench's pocket, so it's not the biggest deal there, but it does buy a lot of extra time. It does mean they don't have the extra support on the map for roaming around, for getting your deep vision. So you kind of take back some of the map control and some of the time as a cost for going for that mid play. As a benefit, though, now Knight has no stopwatch, he has no flash, and you're facing a level 11 Akali, rank 2 ultimate here, ready to go, 4 kills on that Orianna.
Right now, top's being pushed in. Karsa's still sticking around to defend. Ben's like, yeah, we're good. I love dabbing Pangu. Blue handed over solo. Pretty easy there for Knight. Actually gets help from Yuyanjia. I am curious what items 369 goes for. I think it's actually not correct to optimize around passive upgrades because you're just an armor stacker this game. Akali will never target you, and I think you can honestly ignore Ezreal spells. So I like Sunfire Bramble Vest. I'm just curious what he gets next.
Yeah, probably we'll still see the Abyssal later as your little bit of magic, just because it's so efficient of an Ornn item upgrade.
Yeah, it's just weird spending and getting like 1,500 gold worth of MR that just isn't a useful stat. Like, yes, you will take some magic damage, but I'm actually not sure it's optimal. It's maybe a longer discussion.
We can place our bets. I like
he may do it.
I like discussions like this. You know, like they were mentioning the Shen itemization, whether you're going to go solo queue damage or team fight pro play cooldown reduction. I will bet for the efficiency of the Abyssal, because you know you also have close range. You can make use of the aura for your ultimate for Orianna.
True.
Shockwaves to do a bit more damage. But what's your bet?
I mean, Iceborne? No, okay, there's the catalyst. So it is Abyssal, but I think Iceborne wouldn't be a terrible choice. Regardless, that's going to be turret damage. Angel can walk up and help finish this one. Karsa can look up for the wave. And actually, I mean, Angel had the chance to walk up earlier, but of course he has to respect what could have been the re-engage. And in a wave or two, they will knock this down anyway.
Yeah, and I think this is really important too. When you can open up, as we said, this mid lane for the Akali, this is your pretty decent point of power. Spellbook Knight has actually switched over to Ignite, Exhaust, Orianna, so he's going to be more fearsome than we thought. As just you know, somebody to try and pick on here.
Anyway.
Plus, he's got basically another summoner spell in his Seraph's Transform, so he's got the shield. That is a combat-ready Orianna, Phreak.
Yeah. Burns away. Now he's just got TP. I think he just like walked up and ignited and pieced it out. That's a stun though. That is good damage. He can't burn the W just yet. He's out of health, and that's a kill for JackeyLove. How does Huanfeng get away? He burns Arcane Shift. He burns Flash. He lives. And Jarvan is coming, but no one else can do so. Everyone else has an easy TP stop in the kit, so they have to walk downwards. This is now called out. They know Akali pushed in the wave. Easy walk away for TES.
And again, this is calculated from TES. These are not, you know, random set up plays. They continually have the brush advantage. JackeyLove fires these arrows off for bottom side because they know all they have to do is play to dragon fights. You're forcing a Jax team with an Akali to come 5-on-5, the Ornn Orianna setup. This is right into top esports game plan here. They're just full steam ahead. Yes, we're losing mid lane. You know, yes, you do have possibilities for outplays in 1v1 scenarios, in split push scenarios. But if we just keep forcing around bottom side, around these dragons, we will be able to pull you to us with the threat of the Dragon Soul. Cloud Soul, you know, obviously not the best, not the greatest one or most powerful for them for combat, but still will be a decent chunk.
Sure, yeah. I mean, you still don't hate move speed, all things considered. And now you got the chance at a very, very early Dragon Soul in this game, and it's going to make things, of course, a little bit easier. Looking for a tower dive, potentially. This seems so difficult. I don't know how you finish this kill. There's, like, almost no way. Yeah, they can stop recalls, I guess. But, like, are you going to burn Leona for that? Probably not. Still, a lot of waves denied in bot lane. They've got to play super far back. Turret will be answered, or I should say finished. And that's 2 turrets to 0. And a Jax in the top lane is free farming. Yeah, sure, 369's held on pretty well as we get the replay of them fighting up there, burning the Flash. But Karsa's here now. I believe, yeah, he went by a ward. The Umbral Glaive got triggered off the fact that it only does that if there's a ward nearby. So Ben's like, all right, I see you. I'll walk away. I'll just put my new trinket down soon enough.
All right, so we are just going to have the throwdown then at the Dragon. And honestly, yes, they got 2 towers down here for Suning. But 3.5 minutes that is your timer before TS are forcing at this Dragon Soul. So they really have to push into overdrive right now with these possibilities for these side lane plays. You know, things like forcing that flash out 1v1 from Bin are going to be where you try and make that punishment happen. Now you start roaming out SwordArt. He's going to be the kind of linchpin that brings it all together for you to bring the crowd control for the extra kills for this play.
Early QSS in for Huanfeng, needs to be able to survive Ashe arrows, more defensively with the Iceborne as well. Though he is facing a lot of magic damage, since, you know, the Orianna and Ornn are going to probably contribute a fair bit. Regardless, still goes for armor stacking because of Graves and Ashe. I don't think it's wrong, just an interesting choice because you can go Triforce this game, I feel. Regardless, we already know the Catalyst was picked up. The rest of Abyssal Mask before too long for 369. We know Drake is in 230, and the Triforce should be done in time for Bin. Pros average about 400 gold per minute. That's an easy one to kind of keep in mind. It's 400 gold per minute, and in the course of 3 minutes, you get the 1200 gold needed to get the rest of the item. This should be no problem for Bin.
How many times have we scrolled over Raptor Camp to see that? But here we go, top side. Angel gets a pretty nice chunk. He sees a Tahm Kench and says, okay, fine.
Yep. Good move. And of course, we have a while till the Drake comes up, so he can go wherever he wants. Doesn't have to play around bottom side just yet. Karsa gonna see SofM. But that's kind of the benefit of the cloud map, is you run really fast around here, and you can usually dodge these skill shots with the bonus move speed. That's an easy recall stop. Almost gets the ward in time, lets the 30 gold go to SofM. He gets it anyway by being the sweeper, and they do it for round 2. But now blinding him, they could go for the engage. The 369 ult here. Is it a possibility to kill SofM? He burns his smite to get the movement speed and walks away.
Minute 45 left on the Dragon Soul too, and honestly, the increase in pressure here from Suning is looking pretty good as they push in the bottom side. It was deterred a little bit top side when Tahm Kench showed up, so Angel actually couldn't press any further forward on the Akali. I think that the ultimate will be up for the Dragon though, so the attempt won't be super punishing if they decide to try and do the, yo, let's push out the side lanes and then collapse for the pincer.
Akali's going to feel safe like all the time here. You can take a little bit of damage and then gunblade it back up. It's not a big issue. Karsa, he wants to recall around now anyway, but Suning can try as hard as they can to knock down the rest of top lane before that fight happens. He might not get to spend the money in time and reset, but now SofM wants to go to the backside. He's going to look for Knight, finds it, jumps right back out, burns the ulti. Shockwave only finds damage. Good reflexes, Huanfeng gets Arcane Shift up in time, but I believe now Jarvan will be ulti-less for when this Drake fight happens. Angel will barely have time to finish the turret, recall, and show up, and he won't have time to go for a flank.
Yeah, kind of interesting here, as mid lane priority will mean a lot leading up to the Dragon. Angel's going to push in top side. You have 30 seconds, so he gets to reset there. As you have to catch both mid and top side waves, this does give time for Suning to try and reset and bring their control wards over. You say Yuyanjia already heading out on the Leona with his. Angel buys 2 more control wards for himself. They are prepared.
SofM knows he can easily get away from a 369 ulti with the flag and drag, so that's not going to be an issue for him. But the Drake is up in 10 seconds. Knight has come down. Angel has recalled and come across the map. Has the finish Liandry's. No stopwatches on pretty much anyone. So if you can find that kill, if you can isolate them, that's going to be one going through. 369 not quite hit though. And here comes the potential fight. JackeyLove a bit low, Yuyanjia the same. Looking for a slow up towards Angel. He's going to be okay. Bin still pushing the bottom side. And Suning right now in control of the various lanes and the jungle, but now this could be a target. He's already jumped away once. We've got a slow and a freeze frame on my side.
Yeah.
This is a tough one because the fight's kind of happening.
I hear it. We can maybe do it from audio. I feel like they caught up.
We got an Ashe arrow. It landed. They're trying the very best they can. I'm going to turn up my audio. Is it going to be enough? Flashes burn on one side or the other.
Ornn! Burr! I don't know if live is also paused like us. Maybe we sound just ridiculous right now.
I think we let the game audio help it. Orianna dropped. That's huge.
Ornn still alive. Jarvan ultimate. Oh,
and this is Suning looking great right now. Picked up several, but on the backside, Karsa's alive. 1v3. Can he kite it away? No, he cannot. Suning take the crucial ace right in front of the Drake.
Right before your eyes, Phreak. What a play from Suning.
I'm expecting a replay out of this one. Don't worry about it. The Drake will be claimed. And the curse of Dragon Soul Point continues.
Oh my gosh, it actually is evolving to a curse over this series. As once again, TES got the 3 dragons stopped by Suning in the jungle fight here. Here's the replay. All right, let's go for real this time. Ornn went in. They had already chased them off the dragon, and so they did start it up, but SwordArt finding the engage here on Tonight, having to flash out. That was huge as he goes in here. It's only Ornn's damage on Huanfeng. He's going to flash over with the Graves to finish it off, but Akali and Jax with the flanks running amok in the back side of it Phreak the entire time. And there was that late Jarvan ult that we heard deep into the fight that allows the re-engage.
And honestly, the carries dropped first. Ashe and Orianna died super early in the battle. JackeyLove still had flash. Yuyanjia, I feel like he ate kind of a bad target. Kind of only the Jarvan was threatening, and now round 2 gonna find even more. Nice knockup. SofM says, okay, you've got backup, no big worries, but the Ashe is gonna find it. Another QSS burn, but they can find it with 369, not quite the knockup, but SofM running low on health. Baron helps, they find another slow. Huanfeng low on HP, and they find that kill right in front of Baron. The health bar is so low, and it's gonna force the recall away. SofM can barely fight for this. His smite is down, Karsa's will be up. 5v4, can they do it? Does TES take this fight? 3K down, but up a member. When does Bin go in? When does the squad rejoin? SofM taking red buff so he can heal. Knock up onto Bin. They find a bit more. Leona cannot find the stun. They look for more, though. It's on Yuyanjia. He's not an easy target, and they're going to go for the re-engage. They're going to find the kill in a SwordArt. It's 5v3, and no one has found a kill, but they have gotten the Baron reset. And this means Huanfeng can come back alive, and he has TP. He can rejoin in 14 seconds. So go for the ward clears, and Suning feels comfortable.
I like that, just poking them out, not committing to it, and allowing the reset here. Bin starts it back up after they clear all the wards, but he gets called off of it by the team. Maybe if you had like Death Dance completed as well, they try and force that, but no sneaky play there. That would be a bit of a flip, as they started to say.
Yeah. 3,000 gold difference, 2 Drake lead, but that I don't think makes up for the fact that Suning feel more powerful. Angel joined Suning to replace Knight 2 years ago. And right now, he's looking great. 5-0 in Game 4 of the Worlds semifinals. Better mid winning right now.
Ooh. Yeah, Phreak. Honestly, that last team fight in the jungle, that was so much for Suning. Turns out, the Angel of Death has come to Summoner's Rift, and he's come to send the souls of TES back to the fountain. 5 kills, 700 gold bounty on his head.
Nice
what
try
play from him?
Suning decides to walk sideways. Could have EQ'd and buffered it against the incoming arrow. Would have been stunned on the other side of the wall. Didn't need it. He's totally fine. Bin still farming in the side of the map. 1, 1, and 3. 2.5 items. The Aegis is in. You can see that turret loses health very rapidly, but he cannot tower dive Knight, so back he goes.
Okay, SofM getting a little deep once again into a risky position. See how he gets out of this one. EQ right over the Ornn, no problem.
Not a problem at all. 369. His second most played in summer was Ornn, by the way. Definitely, a quite comfortable pick for him. TES, they won the LPL playing champions like this, fairly often. He had a pretty big champion pool. Still played it several times. JackeyLove still farming, though. Still an incredible player. Has not had his best series, I want to be clear. I think he's really overstepped a lot of times, and we've had some mechanical mistakes from him. And that's certainly been a meaningful point here. Angel jumps back. This could be a decent target. Keep in mind, he goes in. Oh my word, that damage, he's dominating. JackeyLove oversteps again, and he drops the opposing mid laner. This could be even more. 369 burns the ulti. Is there even a play to be had? Angel jumps the wall perfectly on the Akali, a 6-kill assassin. JackeyLove, I think he was relying on Yuyanjia. Didn't burn the heal, just died in the belly.
Yeah, Angel not messing around here on the Akali, level 16. Now this is going to be the Baron start for Suning. Can they do it without JackeyLove, without the Ashe carry?
SwordArt is here to find the flank play and start the fight instead. Huanfeng over the wall. They got the flag and drag over here as well. This could be a team fight right now, 5v4. Can they get the stun? Not just yet. They're going to keep walking away. No pickups here. They will let JackeyLove respawn. He has arrow. And he has finished Infinity Edge, so he is on his 3rd major damage item. But they gotta keep him safe. Angel has been on point every single fight this game. Breaking 15.
Incredible game from him on the biggest stage with the entire world watching. Teleport now used for him to push the bottom lane just to get the minion wave in place first for this dragon. This is the thing. The dragon soul points don't stop coming. TES still on that dragon soul point. They are more down in gold this time, and there's the engage.
Stun, shockwave, big damage. Bin stays alive. A stun once again finds its target. Up at the top goes SofM. Knockups even more. Here comes Akali over the top as well. Is it enough damage? Bin wants another. And JackeyLove drops yet again. They find kill 2. They will find kill 3. Suning will not be stopped. They will not be denied their vengeance from the regular season. And they will find another one now. Court, sure. Karsa finds a kill in a SwordArt, but it's a 3-for-1 team fight in front of an easy Drake and an easy mid tier 2.
Yeah, Karsa gonna get one back for himself, but the rest of Suning back off for the objective. Eyes on the bigger prize for themselves. Teleports available on Bin, so Karsa can't pull any further heroics, can't go chasing anybody around, even the low health members, and that will be Dragon Soul number 2 stopped in the favor of Suning. As soon as Angel arrives, you know death will follow. He got there and he was able to chase down the dive onto Knight. He finds it. They take out the heart of the team fight here for TES once again. He has just been surgical. No death still left on Angel. And this is the original kill.
Yeah.
With that burn from the Leandri still. Goes down within the belly, still gets the kill. What crazy burst. Here's another look at the second round. Engage was onto Bin. They take out one of the big carries. The Jack's out of this fight, but the re-engage still. SofM groups him up. 4 people there inside the Jarvan ult. And then out of it, Angel has his eyes on the Knight. Back to the Baron, though. Here's a big, important fight.
5v4, 5v5, everyone respawns and comes back, but there's no Karsa. There is no smite fight. You've got to win this one somehow by yourself. There's a smite on Knight, but he's not anywhere near this battle. Goes for it, can't find it with Shockwave. Re-engage towards Angel, forces him to flash away. Now it's SwordArt in the front line. He is running low on health. One more Q, that'll be a kill. 5v4, the chase. SofM ults in, buys some time. TV comes back in for Bin, but it is still a 5v4. Is this a fight that Suning can win? 369, not an easy target. JackeyLove reasonably safe on the backside. Karsa back in. SofM once again gets to safety. 369 does not have the ulti to re-engage, and a nice snipe from Ez means decent damage. Baron for a kill, you take that every time.
This is going to be, so much pushing power here with the Baron for Suning, and they've got the split push to do it. Yes, you don't have teleports, but you have very safe solo laners that can still accomplish it. And Huanfeng on the Ezreal, another safe carry, then go right up mid. They can push pressure all 3 lanes. Now TES, their eyes are getting so big at the moment, seeing the series slip away, seeing their world's run slip away before their eyes. After taking the championship in summer in the LPL, they have to make some tremendously big play right now. They have to try and catch SN off guard while they're split pushing. If they try and push all 3 lanes, they need to get a hard force. JackeyLove Ashe Arrow into Ornn ultimate to try and get some picks.
TES, you have to come back from 6,000 gold down. And with the Baron buff still on, we'll see how much more can happen from Suning Red Bull Baron. He is on a ward. He's going to be fine. Fighting over the big chicken. Takes it with Smite. Well done. Karsa still with a level lead, but that doesn't matter. And no Ashe arrows coming across the map.
All right.
CC. I mean, he is actually very extended. If they can stun from Fog, they might actually be able to burn him down with Tahm Kench stuff, but ultimately JackeyLove has to be careful. JackeyLove will get devoured, will be safe, but that is an important cooldown missing, and mid lane tier 2 will drop.
Time is not in top esports favor right now. As the 1-3-1 takes its toll, they close in on all 3.
Big
there
damage.
it is.
SwordArt could be killed. He's going to run out of health. He's going to find a stun. It's not going to matter.
Pick.
Yes, turrets are picked off, but now can 369 find the re-engage? Can he get even more? SofM going to kill the ward, but that is now flag and drag down. Still no play to be had. They're going to drop turrets on the various sides of the map. It's 6-0 in turrets, by the way. Bin is not an easy target either. They're just going to farm. They're going to look for Karsa. Can't get it just yet. SofM going to dunk into this one. Ulti gets him to safety. 369 finally calls the play. They're going to get the knockup. Can they kill SofM? He's going to get right back out to safety. The cooldowns are short enough. They don't get more than some health bar done.
Baron still on for the members of Suning, so they keep up the pressure here, and there you go. That's why you get Warmogs. SofM heals right back up after taking a brutal amount of damage on the previous pick. He can EQ over the wall again, heal back up with his Warmogs to stay out of combat, chilling in the breeze.
Yep. 369 has to go back to base to heal. Knight wants in, cannot easily shockwave Huanfeng. Of course, very easy to arcane shift that one, and have to, you know, just ignore that play. Bot lane nearly gone, mid lane at basically 1/4. They are chipping this away, and now here comes the big play. Shockwave not gonna land, but Yuyanjia's right behind. Nice R into E, gets on the other side of that play, and that means Angel has R2 if he needs it, but now 369 in a 1v2 top side. That turret will fall. Great counter punch by Suning. Ben and SofM have no problem knocking down that inhibitor turret. Huanfeng low on mana, but still enough for Arcane Shift. Means he is safe, but the Ashe arrow is back up. Can they go for the play? Maybe smoke screen into arrow. Now that that's down, you should try. You should try. I know he has QSS, but at least force the cooldown. No, going top side. They will find Ben. He has the ward, though. He kept it the whole time to make sure he can make that play happen, but maybe the dive can still happen. Ornn is up in a second. Drake is in 23 seconds, and Ben is likely to drop. Has to burn the flash now. Here comes the Ornn. That is the last ward down. This should be an easy knockup. This should be a very easy kill. Ben should always die. Shut down sadly goes to Tahm Kench, but the base is in shambles. They are attacking the bottom side, and Ez ult is going to stop some recalls. It's going to stop 3 recalls. We've seen these plays at Worlds before. World-class AD carries, cross-map stopping recalls, and SofM goes for 3 more because Suning are going for the Nexus. Karsa trying to stop with Yuyanjia. They will lose 1 Nexus turret. They find a flash slow. They find Huanfeng for some damage. 369 is here. Have Suning bitten off more than they can chew. 369 does not find the knockup though. He finds his health bar down to 2,000. SwordArt may be a target. Does have flash though. Can easily get over the wall. Not gonna have to burn it. 369 is low. Top and jungle still dead for Suning. This Drake needs to be claimed for TES, but they are going to first recall and get their health bars back. The timing is so tight though. SofM is up in 15 seconds and Ben is up in 5, and Huanfeng is being allowed to take the Drake in a 3v5. Kobe, I've seen these plays before.
They can't do it. There's no way that TS can actually do anything about this Cloud Soul. It is denied once again. Suning also opening up the base with that inhibitor going down due to Ben buying time on the Jax. Yes, he's caught, but 2 ward jumps and a flash used by Ben. Then the ultimate interrupt on the recalls. Huanfeng and SofM using his body on Jarvan to go buy that time to take down the inhibitors. This TES base is just held together by strings at this moment. They do have solid setup for the front line there. Ornn trying to take up the turret and get some back door damage on it, but it's going to be hard to bully through.
Double lock it.
Jack's going for the split.
Yeah, he is. I mean, it's open inhibitor, or sorry, dead inhibitor, and only 1 Nexus turret. Ben can easily win the game if unanswered. This is a guaranteed requirement out of TES to try to handle that one. Obviously, he is ahead in the side lane. Guardian Angel not far away. 3 offensive items already in. He is gigantic. Knight can do his best to wave clear. That's not a problem. We can see that Maw had to come through for JackeyLove. He needed some MR to survive. Ezreal, Leona, Akali jumping on top of him. I mean, 4 deaths with the Tahm Kench. It's tough.
It is so incredibly tough right now. You've got an inhibitor down. You're facing a 7-kill Akali split push with a Jax split push on the other side. Them having both of their teleports available. This is a doomsday scenario. As Suning have pressure on Baron, they clear out the vision and they force TES to panic, having to deal with pressure on all sides of the map.
Suning looking to single-handedly take down the first and second LPLCs. JackeyLove barely lives. That's why I'm not going to find him. They get a bit of damage over the top, but they're not going to get the kills just yet. Karsa is going to die. They will trade back the support. Yuyanjia's here. Can he keep the teammates alive? Angel's in. Does not find the kill. 2 for 0 TES. 2 for 1, I should say. They will spit JackeyLove back out, but Angel finds R2 Flash and lands it on top of JackeyLove. Perfection into the E backwards. And now is there a re-engage? I mean, the carries are alive, right? Jungle plus solos, that's enough here. That's easy. And keep in mind, there was no smite for TES unless Knight spellbook's over, which he may have. This Baron is unsmiteable.
Angel is so good. Legendary now on the Akali. He left his shuriken in the shroud to take it back, knowing he was going to dive super deep there.
They're 2-manning it. There's no way they're going to stop this. I mean,
they've got it.
SofM is so tanky and Ben does so much damage. And they're stuck in the base. This is Baron. This is Baron number 2. No problem at all. Suning on the precipice of not just knocking down JD Gaming 3-1, but knocking down Top Esports 3-1 as well. Now looking for the attempts over the wall. They see it's at 1K. A random tongue lash is the chance, and it's not going to happen. Baron is claimed yet again. Suning this close to closing out the series.
What a story from them. What a climb for this Suning team. And they are on the precipice of upsetting now the #1 LPL seed after already taking down #2. Here's the dive. They wanted to take advantage of JackeyLove. Yuyanjia gets the devour this time around, but Angel preps. He throws his shuriken into the cloud, then uses his R2 to go for the execute, knowing he could just take his shuriken right back out. Surgical maneuver, even with the Tahm Kench there protecting him. He takes down JackeyLove, setting his team up for the Baron. Magnificent performance from Angel, with the entire world watching to get his team into the finals.
And don't let the scoreboard that shows the game time and the Drake count fool you, because this game is not close. It's 10-1 in turrets. Suning have had control almost the entire game. They have a single turret between them and victory. And this Nexus is going to be very, very tough to keep alive. TES must try. Death Cap upgraded. Void Staff, they find a stun, they find another pick. SofM is gone before he can do anything. And that is the makings of potential. He is dead as the Drake comes alive. If TES can somehow keep their inhibitors safe and keep the waves in an okay spot, there is no smite to contest Dragon Soul.
Lots of pressure, though, especially with the Baron still. They're just going to keep it up, even with SofM down. 35 seconds left on his revive. With the Baron buff, you don't have to overextend to pressure these inhibitors. You see how safe they are. Just buffing up these cannon minions.
Top lane's not close. Bin just jumps 369 to half HP in about 2 seconds every single time. Karsa back on the map. I mean, can they even leave their base? There's so much pressure with the Baron buff on right now, and that's going to be on for a while. Even though you're 5v4 on the map, TES can't leave their base.
Just keep them corralled until your jungler respawns here.
JackeyLove tries to force the Arcane Shift by walking up for the attacks, and it's just not enough. Huanfeng just face checks and says, okay, sure. Q auto, and JackeyLove has to flinch.
I mean, he's got the safety, right? He's got his
TP coming.
up.
They're trying for a little something at least. 369 is here. Tahm Kench over the top as well. They're going to find a double stun, but this could be the fight. 369 finds a double knockup. QSS flash comes out of Huanfeng. Here comes Angel. Saves JackeyLove for a second, but Yuyanjia's going to be careful. Can they get round 2? They have the locket shields. Is it enough? JackeyLove kills SwordArt. As over the top finds 2. Angel is low. Can they find Angel? No knockup, but it's enough for Huanfeng. He finds 1. Looks for another. They're going to get JackeyLove. There is no damage left. Knight has to do it all. They get Angel. He's got to run. Knight has to run. Karsa has to try. Can they get the damage? No one else is on the base. It is just a 3v3. Karsa drops. It's Karsa running away, but Knight is already gone, and this could be enough. Huanfeng tries to take down 369 and does so. Karsa is gone as well. That is the ace, and Suning have done the impossible. G2 in groups, JD Gaming in quarters, and TES in semis. The most impressive run of Worlds so far, and it belongs to Suning. Their only foe left is Dom1 Gaming. The hopes of a nation rest with Suning. You beat everyone else. You've got one test left. Can you crack under the pressure? Next week, we will find out. Suning will take down TES, and the hopes of the LPL will rest with Suning.
What an exciting team to watch. What an exciting story.
Left. Can you beat the most dominant team in Korea? Dom1 Gaming, the only other huge tournament favorite. And Suning have felled all the giants before. They just have one more to take down.
Whew. This is such a crazy story here for Suning, honestly. I mean, we already mentioned, if you take out SwordArt from this team, these are the first international games that any of the other players have played. They don't know losing at an international event.
True.
They simply have not experienced it yet.
It's been an impressive run, and of course, we'll have to wait until next week for the finals. It can't come soon enough. I'm excited for the Suning Tahm 1 matchup. Now, we will take a closer look at Suning's win and preview the World Final, so don't go anywhere.